Hey guys, Ryan Dyer here. We got a big episode here. Gonna be doing just a little bit of final thoughts on the Newman Boyer incident. Love the support I got on that video, or at least the views. Love to see you guys comment down below. Let me know what you guys think I should do to make this show here more interesting for you guys to watch. Because I want to do this for you guys. But yeah, so the main thing, other than kind of following up on a lot of those incidents, because we're gonna be following up on the Boyer Newman incident. We're gonna be talking about the Hall of Fame class, and then I'm gonna be taking my first looks at the paint at most of the paint schemes. I have seen a couple of the Charlotte 600 paint schemes, but I'm gonna be doing a reaction to those as well. So full episode for you guys. Looking forward to it. So, just kind of some final thoughts here on the Newman Boyer incident, because I just want to get this out of the way real quick, because we got some bigger news to come next. But yeah, so neither driver was given a penalty. Not entirely sure that's following their rule book, the NASCAR rule book, but hey, they can call it how they call it. Um, to be honest, this isn't unlike NASCAR to have done this, where they just say, "Boys, have at it," and the teams basically are the teams and the sponsors are the ones that'll say like, "Hey, cut it out," because the sponsors don't want their name associated necessarily with just a big all-out fight, and of course the teams don't want to risk injury to a driver as he needs to go out and perform. So, and to be honest, kind of going back to some of those clips, I'm not going to roll them again, but between the fact that it was Boyer that ran over to Newman and started the fight, still having his helmet on, and he caused the post-race incident, I cannot be on Boyer's side in this case scenario. I'm sure plenty of you guys agree with me. I'm sure plenty of you guys disagree with me. Feel free to let me know which team you guys are a part of down there in the comment section. Team Boyer, Team Newman. But the more important part of the video is we had announced the Hall of Fame class for 2019, and let's just say it's exciting. We've got three-time champion Tony Stewart joining the Hall of Fame, along with who's also now a car owner. Who actually we just talked about one of his drivers there, Boyer, as well as Harvick, who looks like he's probably going to win another championship either next year or the year after, as long as they don't change the cars too much. And then kind of following along with the team owner side of things, we had car owner Joe Gibbs, who was actually Stewart's car owner for two of those championships. And, well, we might not be done with the championships and Joe Gibbs anytime soon. I mean, not just the fact that Kyle Busch is on a run at probably another championship this year, but another one of the guys inducted was Bobby Labonte, who won the 2000 Cup Series championship for Joe Gibbs in that number 18 car. And man, he was a fun guy to watch some of the replays of. I never got to see him race when he was actually driving. I never got to watch him on TV or anything, but man, him and his brother Terry both were pretty fun to watch. And then I think we had two others. Yeah, Buddy Baker are both in. Buddy Baker also made it in. I don't know as much on the history of him, mainly because he's from a kind of an older generation, but still great to see Buddy Baker in, as well as Waddle Wilson, who hands up, I did not know exactly who he was. He's apparently he was a crew chief and an engine builder. So, I mean, hey, we're happy to have him in the sport. He definitely, I mean, I don't know exactly who he was a crew chief for, but I don't remember. But yeah, crew chiefs, I mean, they play a pivotal role in any driver's chances. And sometimes the crew chief can make the driver. I mean, that's the big debate going on this year is was Chad Knaus the reason for the 7 championships, or was it Jimmy Johnson? Or was it the mesh between them? I'm inclined to say it was a mix, but I think it was weighted in favor of Chad Knaus being the big beneficiary. So, yeah, I would say Chad Knaus is definitely, or not definitely, but appears, in my opinion at least, to be the better of the two since they split. With granted, Jimmy hasn't gotten any younger, and Chad Knaus now is a younger driver, so make of that what you will. I mean, Hendrick's been looking better, though, these last few weeks. I will no doubt say that, and I'll actually even go back to my Kansas race review and admit they look like the old Hendrick. I can't deny it anymore. They are looking like mid-2000s Hendrick back when, or mid-2000s to that, and even like some of the 2010s. But yeah, they're looking like the golden days again. So, yeah. And now let's get on to those paint schemes, because I promised you guys I'd take my first look at those paint schemes. So we'll see you guys over there in just one second. Okay, guys, so here we are with our paint scheme part of the video. I'll admit, I did take a quick peek through them because I heard that there were some low lights for both me in particular, just because there are some things I particularly am not a fan of. I've got them pulled up on my computer, ready to look at them. But yeah, the Charlotte 600, Coke 600, however you call it. Now, this is Memorial Day weekend, big patriotic weekend, and some kind of quick background about me to kind of let you guys know how I'm going to, because I am going to dig in some paint schemes based on how patriotic I feel like they are, because it is such a patriotic holiday, and I do have family ties that have been in the military as well, so I will probably ding quite a few cars based on if I feel like they are not patriotic or not patriotic enough. But let's get into it before we get too far into it. And this is in just numerical order. Landon Castle, in his patriotic Starcom filter or fiber. Whoops, I did not read that right, but oh well. But yeah, you know what? That one's, it's good enough. I like the red, white, and blue design to it, especially for an undefended car. That's pretty good. And here's the first of these ones, which I can't leave this one alone. Or I can't leave these ones alone. What is patriotic about this? I mean, I get the gear wrench doesn't really have the patriotic colors, but there's got to be something you could have done with this paint scheme over here to make it, how do I say it, patriotic. I don't know what you could have necessarily done because the colors of the sponsor, or maybe even just see if you can sign a different sponsor of his. Granted, a lot of unless you can get Sherwin-Williams, I can't think of too many that have a base paint like that. But I can't imagine Gear Wrench would have been so staunchly opposed to changing colors up a bit. Like I know, actually, Good Wrench, Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s sponsor, they wanted the car to be their colors, light blue and white, but instead they got the Intimidator colors, which I think looks a lot better. But yeah, I think they could have done something, but I'm not going to ding them too hard because really the sponsor colors are pretty far from what they could have done. Maybe some white stars or something on it to try and add some patriotic design to make it just different than every other Gear Wrench car we're going to see this year. But again, not going to ding it too much because it's more just the sponsor colors don't really line up. And Brad Keselowski, always been one of the most patriotic guys in the garage. Does great things with the military. I cannot, like, that is my favorite thing about Brad Keselowski is how much he does for the military. Burnouts with the American flag every time he wins, including last weekend at Kansas. Even though I'm not a Brad K fan, I can't stand when the guy wins, but can't deny that seeing the American flag flying out of this car would be awesome this coming Sunday night. Don't know when my post-race review will be up. It'll depend on when I get back from my camping trip. But yeah, and then this one, why Coke? Do you just not like the? Do you just not like the red, white, and blue? Like, I mean, Coca-Cola is a red with white drink. Can you not just throw some blue accents in there? Maybe some stars, something to try and. I mean, I do see some starting of an American flag design. And this is not the worst Coke car, by the way. Coke is going to be sponsoring multiple cars, and this is not the worst of them. I just think because it's like Coke, I think they should have just gone with a red car with some blue accents and some white stars and to make it more, or even maybe if you could have changed maybe the number without it looking horrible. I don't know what I would have personally done to this one, but as I said, we have a worse one coming up, so let's head on through some of these other ones. Again, I'm gonna try not to rag on these too much, but once again, the standard Mobil 1 car for Kevin Harvick, and this one I haven't liked the paint scheme in general because it's flat black with like a gray flame with the gray flame, I think. But I do have some and the fact that it's the exact same as it's run at other races such as Bristol earlier this year. Yeah, I'd say Mobil 1 definitely could have done better because their colors are red, white, and blue. But again, I do not want to rag on this too much because I don't want this part of the video to drag on. But yeah, this is probably one of the ones I am now that I'm realizing it more frustrated with because their sponsor colors are red, white, and blue. Like that's what I think of when I think of the Mobil 1 cars from the past, like when Tony Stewart ran that car or Kevin Harvick at Sonoma when he won in 2017. But here we go. The Oscar Mayer number 6 for Ryan Newman. I'm gonna give it a solid. Not great, not terrible. Pretty good though. But yeah, I'd say this is pretty good. Nothing really more I can say here, so let's move on to the next one. Because again, for the ones that I like or I don't have much to say about, I'm gonna try not to hang on them for too long. But man, the number 8 car, Beechcraft, I don't really know the sponsor colors there too much, but I mean, you could have done something better with them just plain white with some gray stripes. I mean, I haven't seen the car in action yet, so I mean, maybe the hood has something patriotic about it. One second. But yeah, so I just think Hemrick's team could have done something better, especially considering Austin Dillon's was another one that I already ragged on in this video. But I mean, yeah, I think they could have done more for sure. But again, gonna try and hang on these because these ones are not necessarily the biggest offenders until we get to this one. So I thought ahead. I brought actually a diecast of this car because this was the same thing he ran at the Daytona 500. And I'm actually just gonna make sure. But yeah, what here is patriotic? Like the Napa patriotic car. I get that some people said it was too yellow. I mean, maybe trying the blue number out, but like there's nothing patriotic about this paint scheme. Like, it's a solid paint scheme, and I liked it for the Daytona 500, but for the Coke 600, where's the star? Where's the star slapped on the side of it or something? Please, Hendrick, can you fix this one? Well, at least this is the last one I had a diecast prepared to, for talking bad about it. Smithfield, I like this one. It's pretty much the same car they ran last year, and I liked it then. I like it now. I like it. Love the stars and stripes. Love the different colored stars. Solid paint scheme. Ty Dillon, I don't really care about Ty Dillon, but too much. But Geico military car, I mean, that's a classic. They've been running that one for years and years with Casey Mears and other drivers. Great car, still great. Clint Boyer, basically same issue that I had with Harvick's car. Just not patriotic enough. I can't find much, if anything, patriotic about it. It's just the standard peak car that I'd assume they'd run the rest of the year. I haven't seen it run at any races yet, so maybe it's just a one-race sponsor, but yeah. And actually, the fact that they have Mobil 1 and Peak Antifreeze sponsoring two different cars for the same team in the race. But yeah. Again, I'm going to try not to hang on these too much because we've got a lot to get through. Stenhouse actually looks a lot like the normal paint scheme for Ryan Preece from Daytona earlier this year. I like it. Go Stenhouse. Let's see if he can go find a top 10 in this race. I don't think he's gonna win. Now this is one I brought a diecast in for a good reason. Now I am not typically a fan of this car. I mean, I'm not a fan of this one as a patriotic design, but this is way more patriotic than this. I mean, there's just no competition. The red, white, and blue America mix. Now, I think I personally like the America mix Skittle car a little better, which I also have a diecast of. I should have probably brought that one as well. But this here is the car that Kyle Busch will be running in the race. So, and it's looking like he could go and pick up a second Coke 600 in a row, which I'm just hoping for a more passing than we've had in the last three Coke 600s, because, I mean, MTJ dominated the 2016 and 17 runnings, and Kyle dominated 2018. But, again, let's see, what's next? Okay, MTJ, basic, but better than most of these patriotic designs, so I'll let it slide. It's a pretty good one. Go Bass Pro. That's a pretty good design. JGR, did you run out of creative ideas for patriotic cars? Because, I mean, your first two, pretty good. I noticed that they didn't have Hamlin's in here, so I haven't seen Hamlin's car for this weekend. But why is Eric Jones just running the normal I don't even know what sponsor this is. It looks like the Craftsman car, but I know it isn't. Or I would have had the diecast with me for this one. But yeah, it looks just like the Craftsman car. Just red stripe around the bottom, black base. You could have done, I think, as long as the sponsor was okay with it, I'm sure you could have done a little more with this. But again, I'm going to try not to rag on it too much, because we got a lot of these to get through. Paul Menard, basically same story. Just kind of the typical Menards car with the blue added on. But nothing really screams patriotic about that, because, I mean, it's not even like the American flag color blue either. This is interesting. Yeah, I don't like this Logano paint scheme. I don't see the patrioticness in it. I think if it had blue outline, I'd maybe be more a fan of it, as well as if it would look closer to patriotic. But to be honest, I'm just not a fan of this car. I will definitely not be getting it if it comes out in a die cast. But yeah, that Logano paint scheme, absolute trash. Probably one of my least favorite, purely based on paint scheme. There are some more that I think did the patriotic injustice, which, I mean, they've got 2 of the 3 colors. That's good. Liberty, thank you for improving your patriotic paint scheme design. Last year, you got it way wrong. Big thumbs down for last year. I like this one, though. Yeah, I like this paint scheme a lot better than last year's, and this is actually a really nice patriotic paint scheme. Simple, but it does the job well, and it definitely shows off the stars and stripes in a creative way as well. Matt Tifft, another one of the more just solid paint schemes. I noticed we also skipped over Michael McDowell, so I don't know what his paint scheme looks like for this week. But yeah, the 36 car, though, it's solid. I like it. I know not everybody is going to, but now, Chris Buescher, kind of same story with a lot of these. I don't see the patrioticness in it. Maybe someone here can explain to me why this one's patriotic, but I don't see it. So, if you guys can explain to me why some of these are patriotic that I'm calling kind of unpatriotic cars, or just not showing it off that much, go ahead and show me. Another front row motorsports car. Here's where I'm going to kind of contradict what I've been saying most of this video. There are times when, just because it's patriotic, this car has way too much going on the side of it. I mean, you've got a flame design which easily gets buried in the attempt to do red, white, and blue, like red and white stripes with blue. And stars as well get kind of lost in it just because it's such a mess on the side of the car. And, I mean, I get that it's patriotic, but maybe tone down the flames for this one race. Oh boy, another Coca-Cola car. Another boring, non-patriotic paint scheme. I mean, again, this like the there's the inaugural, or it's like some kind of anniversary for the Coke 600, but seriously, where's the blue? Where are the stars? Stripes? Where are they? And ironically, we are still not done with the Coca-Cola cars. Seriously, Coke, how many cars do you need to sponsor? Oh, by the way, you know how I said that we were done with paint schemes that I brought a diecast of for negative reasons? Again, kind of same story as Chase Elliott's. How is this Credit One Bank car patriotic? Like the one that raced with Kyle Busch at Chicago last year would have been great to see here. I mean, I think that thing would have looked great under the lights, but how on earth does this car here meet the kind of expectation of patriotic paint schemes, especially for Memorial Day weekend? Now, I promise this time I'm actually done with the die-cast show-off. But, yeah, those those 2 cars, though, in particular, I happen to have the die-cast of them because they're the standard paint scheme. And they are not meant to be patriotic. They are not meant to be used as the patriotic scheme. And here's that third Coke car that I was talking so fondly about. And I actually have my own way to redesign this one. First off, I don't get why Coke felt like they needed to use the orange vanilla Coke. Like the orange vanilla variant of Coke, why they needed to promote that as the paint scheme rather than just having it as a general Coca-Cola car. Granted, I didn't know they had 3 of them entered in this race. for 3 different teams. But now imagine this. You make the base car red for standard Coca-Cola. You make the two the Richard Petty swoosh, the two swooshes on the side of the car, one a lighter blue and one a darker blue, and then you just throw stars and maybe some white stripes around the red car. I think that would look awesome, and I think it would actually pretty much work. But again, I didn't design the car, so I didn't get to design it and tell them that maybe Orange Vanilla can wait 1 week, since you guys already put 9 million ads on the broadcast anyway. And as I was saying about that standard Kroger 47 car, I like this one. It is the one they run all the time, but it's patriotic already, so I'll give this one the stamp of approval as well. This one's a good paint scheme. Keep it up, Team Kroger. You know, they simplified down the Ally car. The Ally, this one, I'd say this is a better Ally car than the one we have for the primary paint scheme. Even though it's grown on me since I first saw it, I like this camo design. Fight me on that one, but I like this camo design a lot. I'd like to see it again at Daytona for the 400 and Chicago for the other kind of 4th of July race. But yeah, solid car. 77. It's gonna be running 35th and 36th, 37th and last all day. NASCAR Heat Mobile. No attempt to really make it, in particular, patriotic. But again, this team's on the brink of bankruptcy, so I don't blame them. 88. I feel like they could have thrown some red in there. I feel like Nationwide could have thrown a little bit of red in there. But again, there are way worse cars in this wave to talk about, or that we have either already talked about at this point. But I would say solid. I'm going to rate this one as a solid paint scheme. Not a great one, not a terrible one. And I believe the final one we've got to talk about is this Matt Benedetto one. And I just think it's awkward to have green stripes for a patriotic design. Especially as this is one of the more high-funded teams in the garage, because, I mean, this is effectively a Gibbs car, so once again, we don't have we kind of have a split from Gibbs on half patriotic, half not. So, solid way to, not really a solid way to end it, but it's not terrible. I'll go with that, and I think they could have changed the color of the number and those stripes. If the number went red and then those stripes went blue, I think that would look really cool, and maybe add some stripes in the blue. Personal opinion, I think that would look great. But hey, I think I'm done railing on the paint schemes. Did we get a 96 car paint scheme? No, we did not. So that's our paint scheme preview. I think Truex is going to dominate most of this race, and then I think Larson will find his way back to the front at the end, and I think Larson's going to win this thing. I think Truex, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick will be up front as well. But I think Larson, like last week, I think he's going to find his way to the front when it counts. So thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!